A very good morning to all of you. I hope you are safe and healthy at home. Dear students, welcome to this class of science. Today we will learn next part of the chapter crop production and management. First of all, let us recapitulate our previous learning. What did we learn in the previous class? Let's recall the key points. Crop, plants of same kind that are grown and cultivated on a large scale at a place is called crop. 2 cropping pattern, Rabi crop, Kharif crop. Agricultural practices, activities undertaken by a farmer for cultivation of crops. Agricultural practices, preparation of soil, sowing, adding manures and fertilizers, irrigation, weeding, harvesting, threshing, storage. People are generally mistaken about what the first step of agriculture is. We assume that it is the sowing of seeds. But even before the seeds are sown, we must ensure that soil is ready for farming. This is the process of soil preparation. It is the first step of agriculture. Plants absorb water and nutrients from the soil through their roots. Hence, it is essential to prepare the soil so we can have a healthy and bountiful produce. Here, a word bountiful is used, which means in a large quantity. Soil is prepared by the following methods: ploughing, leveling. Ploughing. Ploughing is the process of loosening and turning the soil. It is also known as tilling. Do you know what is the importance of ploughing? Let's find out. Are you thinking the same? What is the importance of ploughing? Yes, ploughing of soil is important due to the following reasons. It brings nutrient-rich soil to the top, which helps in the growth of plants. It assists the growth of microbes and worms, which performs decomposing and adds nutrients and humus to the soil. Here, a word humus is used. It means a substance made from dead leaves and plants. Do you know the name of any microbe or worm which is involved in this process? We will find it later. It also removes weeds and other waste materials from the field. We will discuss the term weed in our next class. It provides better aeration to the roots, allowing them to breathe easily. It allows root to penetrate deeply into the soil. This firmly roots the plant. Let's see a video for better understanding of this concept. After that, I will give you a task.
Let us pick up from where we left off. Agricultural practices, right? We decided to learn the various processes used for the activity of agriculture. What do you think is the most important requirement for agriculture? Soil, that's right. But do you know that soil needs to be prepared for crop production? Yes, soil is usually found solidified into hard chunks of soil mass. This soil needs to be softened and loosened. Why does soil need to be loosened up before cultivation? The answer is simple. Loose soil will allow more air to pass to the roots of the plants. This will in turn aid the growth of the plant, leading to good crop production. Do you know any natural agents that help this process? We usually refer to them as friends of the farmers. Yes, the answer is earthworms. They help loosen the soil and also in soil aeration. Do you know another advantage of loosening of the soil? It also helps the soil to retain water. It then leads to the growth of favorable microbes that help to produce humus in the soil. What exactly is humus? As we know, all living things die, their remains are decomposed and nutrients are returned back to the soil. The microbes help in this process of decomposition. This decomposed matter is rich in nutrients and is known as humus. It is what plants depend on for nutrition. Do you also know that loosening up of soil has yet another benefit? Plants mostly take nutrients from the top layers of soil and they are unable to go deeper into the soil. Loosening up the soil helps to turn the lower soil and makes it accessible to the plant. Thus, the nutrients in the lower layers are brought up to the upper layers of the soil. So, what is this process of loosening and turning of soil called? We call it tilling or ploughing in agriculture. How is tilling and ploughing done by man? Have you heard the name of an equipment called plough? Yes, I'm sure you have. It helps to loosen the soil. But what if the soil is hard? Would it be easy to plough? No, it won't be. Hence, the soil may have to be watered before ploughing. Even after ploughing, huge chunks of soil could be left behind. These chunks need to be broken down into smaller fragments. Soil also needs to be leveled so that the land is even and sowing of seeds can take place on this land. What if the soil has not regained its fertility? Do we add some manure to it? Yes, of course. Manure too can be added to make the soil fertile. Now let us look closely at the equipments that aid the process of tilling or ploughing the land. There are mainly three types of equipments used in the first stage of agriculture. A plough, hoe and a cultivator are the three major ones. Do you know how any of these work or how they look?
Now you have to tell me why earthworms are called friends of farmers. Some tools are used for ploughing, such as plough, hoe, cultivator. Plough. This is the most ancient tool used for ploughing. A plough may be made of wood or a metal such as iron. Ploughs are traditionally drawn by cattle such as ox or cows, but in modern times tractors are used. Don't worry, I have some pictures to show the use of plough for preparation of soil. Hoe. A hoe is also an ancient agricultural tool. It was used for tilling in olden times, but these days are only used to remove weeds. Cultivator. This is the modern mechanism we use currently to plough our fields. It involves the use of a tractor to drive the cultivator. Cultivator may be more expensive than the traditional methods, but it saves a lot of time and labor. The plough field may have big clumps of soil called crumbs. The soil needs to be leveled again to crush these crumbs as well as to ensure strong foundation and uniform distribution of water. This process is known as leveling of soil. Leveling of soil is done with the help of a leveler. Now you have to collect pictures of some agricultural tools. Write their names and uses also. Sowing of seeds is the second step in crop production. It is the actual process of planting the seeds in the soil. The seeds that are sown have to be selected very carefully. How to select healthy seeds? Is there any method for separating good healthy seeds from the damaged ones? Yes, this is the right time for an activity. Take a beaker and fill half of it with water. Put a handful of wheat seeds and stir well. You can take seeds of any plant if wheat seeds are not available. Wait for some time. Are there any seeds floating on water? Would those be lighter or heavier than those which sink? Damaged seeds are lighter because they are hollow from inside. Therefore, they float on water. This is a good method for separating good healthy seeds from the damaged ones. We should take some precautions before sowing of seeds. Seeds must be planted at the correct distance from each other. This is to ensure that all plants get their fair share of light, water and nutrients. Seeds must be sown at the correct depth in the soil. If seeds are simply scattered on the top, they are likely to be blown away or eaten by animals or birds. If we sow them too deep into the ground, they will not germinate due to the lack of air. Sowing of seeds may be done manually or with the help of some implements such as seed drill. Manual sowing. It involves directly sprinkling seeds into the soil. This method may not ensure that all seeds are sown at the correct depth. Seeds sown in this manner are distributed unevenly. The tool used traditionally for sowing seeds is shaped like a funnel. Nowadays, the seed drill is used for sowing with the help of tractors. It saves time as well as labor. Seeds sown using a seed drill are distributed evenly and placed at the correct depth in the soil. Have you seen a scarecrow in a field? Find out its importance for crop production. We know that plants need certain essentials to grow and nurture. Water and sunlight are the obvious ones. However, plants also need certain nutrients which it absorbs from the soil. But the continuous cultivation of crops makes the soil poor in nutrients. The substances which are added to the soil in the form of nutrients for the healthy growth of plants are called manure and fertilizers. The addition of manure in the field is called manuring. What is manure? Why do we add manure in the field? Let's find out. Manure is an organic substance obtained from decomposition of plants and animal waste. The decomposition is caused by some microorganisms. The use of manure improves soil texture as well as its water retaining capacity. It increases the fertility of the soil by providing humus. I am thinking, why do we need fertilizers? What is the need of adding fertilizers? Do you know that manure does not have high content of nutrients? Fertilizers are the chemicals which are rich in particular nutrient. Some examples of fertilizers are urea, ammonium sulfate, potash, NPK. It means nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. Do you know the difference between manure and fertilizer? Which one has more advantages? Let's find out. This table shows the difference between manure and fertilizer. A fertilizer is an inorganic salt. On the other hand, manure is a natural substance obtained by the decomposition of cattle dung, human waste and plant residues. A fertilizer is prepared in factories. On the other hand, manure can be prepared in the fields. A fertilizer does not provide any humus to the soil, but manure provides a lot of humus to the soil. Fertilizers are very rich in plant nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. On the other hand, manure is relatively less rich in plant nutrients. Manure is considered better than fertilizers because it enhances the water holding capacity of the soil. It makes the soil porous. It improves the texture of soil. There is another method of replenishing the soil with nutrients, crop rotation. This can be done by growing different crops alternatively. Let's see a video together for better understanding of this concept. After that, I will give you a task.
Why do we add manure and fertilizers to the soil? Do we always have to add these substances? Let us see if we need to. This is a piece of land. Can you see the nutrients marked in various colored dots? Now what happens when we grow a crop here? Well, a look at the soil will tell you the answer. The colored dots have almost disappeared. Where did those nutrients go? The crop took up all those nutrients, didn't it? Now, can we grow another crop here? Will the next crop have enough nutrients? Of course not. The soil is now devoid of all nutrients. We need to add some to the soil in order to grow another crop. Wait, how do we add nutrients to the soil? The farmer can help us with this question. Can you see a pit very close to the farm? What does he keep adding in this pit? Look carefully. They are wastes of vegetables, kitchen scraps, animal wastes, and dried leaves. Why is he doing this? What will he get from accumulation of this waste? Manure. That's right. What is manure exactly? The wastes in this pit will slowly be decomposed by various microorganisms. These microorganisms will convert all the waste into organic manure. When we add this manure to the soil, it will help the soil become fertile once again. We call this process as manuring. Do you know that manure may not be able to get all the nutrients back into the soil, but it does perform some other amazing jobs? For a start, it helps the soil to retain more moisture. That in turn would lead to a better water holding capacity of the soil. If the soil remains moist, plants have a continuous supply of water. Most of the soil is then made porous. Porous would mean it not only allows water to seep in, but also helps the exchange of gases. Adding of manure also results in the increase of friendly microbes that help to enhance the fertility of the soil. And yet another advantage of manure is that it helps improve the texture of the soil. So many reasons to use organic manure in our farms. What about fertilizers? Do they help to add nutrients too? Yes, of course they do. However, unlike manure, fertilizers are manufactured in industries. They are inorganic salts and are not produced naturally. Does that mean fertilizers are bad? No, they aren't. They can be very useful to farmers to gain a higher yield of the crop. However, as the saying goes, anything in excess is harmful. So is the case with the usage of fertilizers. Fertilizers are of various types and each one is rich in at least one nutrient. They may be urea, ammonium sulfate, potash, and many more. Fertilizers, unlike manure, do not provide any humus to the soil. They are like tablets of calcium, while manure would be milk. Milk is a natural way of providing your body with calcium and many other nutrients. Calcium tablets, on the other hand, provide only calcium. I'm sure that you now know the difference between manures and fertilizers. Do you know that there are other ways to replenish the soil with nutrients? For example, keeping the land fallow or not cultivating anything in between two crops help the soil to naturally regain its nutrients. However, this seems to take a while. Similarly, crop rotation also helps to maintain a balance of soil nutrients. We can grow crops which use different nutrients alternatively. We can also grow legumes. Legumes? How would they help? Well, leguminous plants have bacteria called the rhizobium attached to their roots. They help in fixing atmospheric nitrogen by converting them into nitrates that the plants can use. This seems to be a pretty easy way of adding this nutrient into the soil. On this note, we have completed the agricultural practice of adding manure and fertilizers to the soil.
Do you know that farmers in North India used to grow legumes as fodder in one season and wheat in the next season? Why? You can take help of your parents also to find out the reason. It's time for you to note down the key points. What have we learned today? Preparation of soil. First step before growing a crop includes ploughing and leveling. It is necessary to prepare soil by ploughing and leveling. Ploughing, also known as tilling, Process of loosening and turning of soil. Tools used for ploughing are plough, hoe and cultivator. Leveling, to crush the big lumps of soil, done with the help of leveler. Sowing of seeds, process of putting seeds in the soil. Good variety of seeds are sown after selection of healthy seeds, done manually or with the help of seed drill. Sowing of seeds at appropriate depths and distances gives good yield. Adding manures and fertilizers. Soil needs replenishment and enrichment through the use of organic manure and fertilizers. Process of adding manures is called manuring. Manure is an organic substance obtained from decomposition of plants and animals' waste. Fertilizers are the chemicals rich in particular nutrient. It is prepared in factories. The organic manure is considered better than fertilizers. Crop rotation is another method of replenishing nutrients in the soil. Time to note down home assignment. Question number 1. Fill in the blanks. A part. The first step before growing crops is dash of the soil. B part. Damaged seeds would dash on water. C part. For growing a crop, sufficient sunlight and dash from the soil are essential. Question number 2. Give some examples of organic manure and chemical fertilizers. Question number 3. Write a paragraph in your own words on sowing of seeds. Question number 4. Explain how fertilizers are different from manure. Question number 5. Explain how soil gets affected by the continuous plantation of crop in a field. Thank you and have a nice day.